Michael Madsen, a figure whose presence loomed large over Hollywood's gritty, noir-laced underbelly, died on Thursday at the age of 67. Known for embodying the tough guy in a multitude of films, particularly those directed by Quentin Tarantino, Madsen's death was confirmed by his team, citing cardiac arrest as the cause. The news sent ripples through the entertainment world, shocking fans and peers alike who had recently seen him busy with a slate of independent projects and upcoming releases. Authorities were dispatched to Madsen's Malibu residence early Thursday morning after receiving a call regarding a medical emergency. When deputies arrived, they found Madsen unresponsive, and he was declared dead at the scene. NBC4 Los Angeles reported the incident, and his team later confirmed the tragic news in a statement. The statement reflected on Madsen's recent work and his hopeful outlook on the future, highlighting how he was actively involved in several new feature films, including Resurrection Road, Concessions, and a cookbook for Southern housewives. He had also been preparing to release a deeply personal book titled Tears for My Father, Outlaw Thoughts and Poems, which was in the final stages of editing. Those close to him said that he was energized by these new opportunities and was preparing for what he had considered a new chapter in his creative life. Michael Madsen was born on September 25, 1957, in Chicago, Illinois. His early years were rooted in the Midwest, where he developed a taste for performance and the stage. He honed his craft with the prestigious Steppenwolf Theater Company, working alongside the likes of John Malkovich. This early experience laid the foundation for a long and prolific film career that would see Madsen become one of the most recognizable faces in cinema. His film debut came with the popular 1983 movie War Games, and from there, he rarely paused, adding depth and edge to every project he touched. He appeared in several notable films throughout the 1980s, such as Racing with the Moon and The Natural, showing a versatility that went beyond the brooding archetypes he would later become famous for. His role in Ridley Scott's groundbreaking film, Thelma and Louise, 1991, showed Hollywood a new side of Madsen, one that was charming yet restrained. But it was his collaboration with Quentin Tarantino that truly solidified his legacy. In 1992, Madsen took on the role of Mr. Blonde in Reservoir Dogs, a character who was both terrifying and magnetic. The infamous scene in which Mr. Blonde tortures a police officer while dancing to Stealers' Wheels, Stuck in the Middle with You, became one of the most iconic moments in film history. It wasn't just a performance, it was an embodiment of cinematic villainy that would haunt audiences for decades to come. Throughout the 1990s and early 2000s, Madsen remained a constant force in Hollywood. He took on diverse roles such as the infamous Jim Morrison-era tough in Oliver Stone's The Doors, the foster father in the family-friendly Free Willy, and its sequel, and the hardened lawman Virgil Earp in the epic western Wyatt Earp. His portrayal of a conflicted detective in Mulholland Falls, and a mob boss in the critically acclaimed Donnie Brasco, revealed his ability to infuse depth and nuance into the archetypal masculine figure. He wasn't just acting, he was unearthing the psychological dimensions of men caught between duty, violence, and vulnerability. Madsen's collaborations with Tarantino continued to bear fruit. He played Bud, the washed-up, broken brother of Bill in the Kill Bill volumes. His portrayal of Bud was hauntingly quiet, filled with internal conflict and resignation, making the character one of the most compelling figures in Tarantino's cinematic universe. He would later appear in The Hateful Eight, once again bringing his signature brooding charisma to the ensemble cast, and had a small yet poignant role in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, proving that even decades into his career, Madsen still had the power to command the screen. Beyond the camera, Madsen lent his voice to various video games, most notably in the Grand Theft Auto series, where his distinctive gravelly tone brought digital characters to life. He was a fixture in both mainstream and independent cinema, amassing an astonishing 328 acting credits on IMDb, a testament to his relentless work ethic and passion for his craft. According to TMZ, just days before his death, Madsen had received a clean bill of health from doctors. He had visited a hospital to inquire about rotator cuff surgery, and no alarming issues were detected at the time. His sudden passing was, therefore, a jarring shock to those who knew and worked with him. Dougie Smith, Madsen's longtime assistant and the person who discovered his body, expressed disbelief at the actor's passing. He looked like he had been in the best health he had been in all year, Smith told reporters, capturing the heartbreak and confusion that surrounded the untimely loss. Madsen's energy, drive, and optimism for his future projects had painted a picture of a man who, despite personal battles, was still very much in control of his destiny. Michael Madsen's personal life was often as dramatic as his roles. He had been married multiple times, including a high-profile relationship with Cher's half-sister. In recent years, he faced public scrutiny following his arrest in 2024 for allegedly battering his estranged wife, Deanna. At the time, his legal representatives strongly denied the allegations, while Deanna issued a statement through People magazine, asking for privacy and revealing that Madsen had been struggling with his own personal issues. It was a sad revelation that hinted at the emotional complexities behind the actor's stoic exterior. He is survived by his mother, Elaine Madsen, a respected Emmy-winning documentarian, and 2 siblings, including the accomplished actress Virginia Madsen. His children include actor Christian Madsen, who had begun carving out his own path in Hollywood. Michael Madsen was also the father of Hudson Madsen, who tragically died by suicide in 2022, a devastating loss that reportedly left a deep and lasting scar on the actor. The final years of Madsen's life were marked by a mixture of artistic resurgence and personal pain. He was preparing not just for film roles, but also literary pursuits, hoping that his book of poetry and reflections would give fans a more intimate view into his thoughts, regrets, and the philosophies he held close. Tears for My Father, Outlaw Thoughts and Poems was not just a book, but a cathartic project that allowed Madsen to process his identity, fame, family, and the evolving world around him. His writing revealed the soul of a man who had witnessed both greatness and grief, who had played monsters and martyrs, and who saw storytelling as his salvation. Colleagues and admirers of Madsen have flooded social media and news outlets with tributes, remembering him not just for his unforgettable roles, but for the camaraderie, loyalty, and authenticity he brought to every set. Quentin Tarantino, who arguably helped define Madsen's career, has not yet released a statement, but sources close to the director say he is devastated by the loss. Fans have revisited Madsen's most iconic performances, reliving the many shades of masculinity, menace, and melancholy that he brought to life. His death feels not just like the end of a life, but the closing of a significant chapter in American cinema. Michael Madsen was not merely an actor who played tough guys. He was a poet of pain, a craftsman of character, and a beacon for all those who lived on the edge of society. His voice, his presence, his look all became symbols of a certain kind of cinematic reality, one where violence was both external and internal, and where redemption was always just out of reach. As Hollywood grapples with this profound loss, it is clear that Madsen's legacy will endure, not just in film reels and video game consoles, but in the hearts of those who recognize the truth behind his performances. In the days to come, more details will likely emerge about the circumstances of his death, the projects he left behind, and the full scope of his creative output. But for now, fans and friends are left with memories, scenes burned into the cultural consciousness, lines delivered with chilling calm, and eyes that told stories even before he opened his mouth. Michael Madsen is gone, but the world he helped create on screen will remain, rough-edged, sorrowful, and unforgettable, just like the man himself.